Well, back-to-back Ashes campaigns. Now we are here in Australia already for the first Test match. David Gower's alongside me. Well, David, normally when we've played and covered Ashes series, there's been quite a gap between the two. Very quick turnaround this time. Do you notice sort of a difference in the anticipation because they come so quickly?
There's a little bit of that, yeah, because it doesn't seem long, literally, since we were going, well, that was into one Ashes series, now here's the start of another one. It's normally nice, I mean, I have to say, it's normally nicer to have that gap so that people regroup. You see maybe a few different faces. I mean, there will be one or two changes anyway. But having said all that, we know the reasons, we can't change that. And when you do get the start of an Ashes series, there's always a buzz. I mean, come first thing in the morning, there will be a real buzz.
This is the Gabba. Australia always starts so well here. I mean, you've played here. Well, why do you think Australia almost just relish playing at the Gabba?
I think it's very straightforward. It's always the first test of a series. Australia in home conditions tend to know a little bit more about it than most visiting teams. A lot of visiting teams, if they haven't had a great warm-up, for instance, come to the Gabba a bit cold. And they then get hit by 30 degrees heat, if you're lucky, 39 degrees heat, if you're unlucky. So it's slightly alien conditions, bit of bounce in the pitch normally, and that's often enough to get home players up and running. And it's sometimes, I mean, in fact, as last time, England last time on the same ground, the first couple of days weren't up to speed.
Yeah, getting on to a good start, I mean, that's almost the challenge that was laid by Alistair Cook before they left. He said, look, 400 minimum out here in Australia. We've got to start better and almost not play catch-up as we've done in the past.
Yeah, I mean, yes, last time they got away with it by making thousands in the second innings. You can't rely on that all the time. It is nice if you get things right at the start, but let's face it, everyone tends to feel their way into a test series a little bit. If it does click into place, as I remember doing it here donkeys years ago, 86-7 for instance, where people suddenly found form and we were on top from the start, pretty much from the start, then that's absolutely great. If it takes a day or two longer, well, you just have to work around that.
Let's touch on technology. We're going to have DRS, we're going to have hotspot and real-time snicko. All sorts of controversy last summer. Will it be okay this time around, do you think?
Hey, how many fingers have we got to cross here? The fact that they're trying to improve it, I think, is good. I mean, I think we've got to accept that technology is very much here to stay. One or two people down here have been saying actually they'd rather bin it. I don't think that's the way forward. I think you've just got to try and improve it, try and make sure the percentages go up, not down. And a lot of that is to do with the interpretation. I have a tiny bit of sympathy with umpires here because some of this stuff is potentially quite tricky. On other occasions, I think they've just got it wrong and they need to be blamed for that. The fact we've got Tony Hill in the third umpire seat throughout means he can have a consistent time of that. He's the man basically designated to look after that technology this time. And I think actually the more they do it, the more they sit in that seat, the more they come to terms that get comfortable with it. And as the percentages go up, then people will like it more and more.
You've watched Kevin Pietersen's England career from day one in South Africa. He sort of hit the international scene with a real bang, an Ashes winner straight away in Test match cricket. He's approaching 100 Test matches, joining the exclusive club that you're a member of. How do you sum up the career of Kevin Pietersen and this special occasion for him?
Well, let's say one thing. The highs have been extraordinarily high. I mean, he's produced some of the most brilliant innings that we've seen over the last decade. And when he plays innings like that, I mean, the one at Leeds against South Africa, Colombo, I mean, there's a whole stack of them, actually, which you go back to the Ashes, his first Ashes series, the Oval, the 150 there. When he plays like that, and I've missed out a few, then it's just great to watch. Now, from what I've seen over the last couple of weeks, seen and heard, he seems to be in good form, both off the field and on the field, which I hope bodes well for him. It's never easy to guarantee yourself a successful Test match when you play your 100th. It's a magic milestone. It's a very important milestone. It's a very proud moment for him. And if he can mark that with one of his better innings, then that will be great to watch.
David, thanks so much, Dave, for your time. We're all looking forward to it. One more sleep for us, but for you back home later on tonight, the Ashes series will be underway.